Jules, you love your
I
left-footed
do.
center backs. How excited are you about Riccardo Calafiori to Arsenal? And is he going to be a left-footed center back or a left-footed left back?
Or left-footed, maybe
Right
inverted.
back.
Yeah, or inverted fullback or something. I would love it to happen. I won't lie.
It's very close, as we
Yeah.
understand. They've agreed personal terms.
That's right.
There's some. I think it's more about how the payments to Bologna
Yeah.
are going to be structured.
Yeah, because it's a bit complicated because Basel would get 45% of the transfer fee, so there's a few things to sort out. I love Calafiori. I know there's a few worries about maybe his fitness and the fact that he had some big injuries really young, but that can happen, and then it can happen young to you and then never again in your career. So I don't think you should base everything on that, on like injury list or injury history, for example. So I'm so excited. I think he's a wonderful player, really, really do, and he will fit so well into what Arteta wants to do.
I think it's interesting that obviously with Arteta, a little bit like Pep, he's moving towards all right, I want 4 center backs
Yeah.
across the back, right?
Yeah.
Obviously all talented, ball playing, whatever else. And going into the season, I thought, all right, they'll probably try to shift Zinchenko, who they may yet do.
Or Kivior.
Or Kivior, or both, frankly.
Yeah, both.
But he's basically coming in for the Kivior role,
Yeah.
with the difference that he's probably better on the role on the ball than
100%.
Kivior. Julien Timber will hopefully be fit all season.
Yeah.
Tomoyasu's coming back. Ben White's coming back. There's a nice
Yeah, it's lovely.
symmetry, and I think there's
I
a
agree.
depth there as well, potentially at center back, which I think Arsenal really, really need,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I agree. And that gives you other different options as well. If Gabriel has a bit of a dip, you can put Calafiori there and then put somebody else at left back or start Calafiori at left back. I think Calafiori, who has played left back before, by the way, it's not just us saying that he's left-footed so he can play left back. Those Joshua Zirkzee to Manchester United rumours keep getting stronger and stronger, Gabby.
So I find this really interesting because Zirkzee has a release fee. By the way, we're going full on Bologna.
I know, full on
here, right?
Bologna. Sorry, Bologna fans.
I believe it's around 40 million euros.
Yeah.
And in this situation, you have to agree personal terms with Zirkzee, obviously. You pay the release fee, and obviously you have to pay a commission to the guy representing him, who is Kia Jarabshin.
Yeah.
Now, Milan really wanted Zirkzee. They pursued him every which way. They had everything in place. The narrative that's out there is that this deal wasn't done because they couldn't agree on Kia's commission.
Right.
The commission was Milan deemed it too high. What I don't understand, if you're Manchester United, right? You decided to keep Ten Hag a long time ago, right? I mean, obviously after the end of the season, you had your review, and you had to get everybody in. Dan, what do you think? Jason Wilcox, what do you think? Oh, remember, but you got this done. Now, you know the situation. You can presumably afford the transfer fee. Presumably, Zirkzee's delighted, with all due respect to Bologna, to come to Old Trafford.
Yeah, sure.
You need another striker.
Yeah.
You must also know that the other hurdle is resolving the commission issue with Kia. It shouldn't be difficult for you to do that. Or are they going in nickel and diming Kia as well, the way Milan are? Because if they are, it'd be really disappointing.
They can't. They know the situation. They know why it hasn't happened to Milan. So they're not going to have the same position at Milan. Otherwise, what's the point? You don't go that far. Then you said, how much the commission? Oh no, too high. We're out.
You don't, or do you? Maybe when you're United and you don't always do things.
I don't know.
I just don't understand why the whole month that it looked like he was landing at Milan, there wasn't a peep from United.
Yeah,
also, because remember, we've been told, under the new Ratcliffe rules, and I agree with them, that it's not the manager who's going to be manager and director of football and pretend he's Sir Alex.
Yeah.
You're going to have technical direction from the club, and they're going to sign players who they think fit, right?
Yeah.
So if those guys like them, those guys were already in place. Sort of, obviously Ashworth's later, but I'm sure they were in touch, right?
Yeah.
That's just what strikes me as weird. It almost feels as if
Yeah.
some Dutch connection, or maybe United being used a little bit to see if Milan say, all right, oh shoot, he's really going to go. Okay, fine, we'll pony up. I don't know.
Is it a bit, if you're a United fan, the fact that the 3 players that they look the most likely to sign right now, Ugarte, De Ligt and Zirkzee, Ugarte could not get into the PSG team because Luis Enrique didn't think as a 6 he was good enough on the ball, especially to build up play. that De Ligt can't get in the national team or his club team, and that Zirkzee, great at Bologna in a great season, but he's a sub for the Netherlands, third pick behind Memphis and Weghorst, and that are the three players that United are going to sign. So 3 subs, whatever the environment is. Is that a bit of a worry instead of going for players who are, starters, maybe stars in their team, or difference makers at least in their team?
I think it's a very fair question. I think what I would say to that is these are also, other than Zirkzee, the other 2 are expensive players because De Ligt is on a big contract at Bayern, a big contract at Juve. Ugarte as well. Really a little less, but he's still coming from Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah. So you're signing guys from big clubs who obviously generally tend to be more expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems a little. I mean, look, having another go at Ugarte, I think makes sense because you saw before there's a player there, right? But meanwhile, Casemiro is still at the club as well.
True.
Which is weird. Remember all these things. Oh, Saudi's coming. Saudi will spend this and that. Well, hey, Saudi, hurry up because it's nearly mid-July.
Yeah.
And what are all these where's all this money you were supposed to drop around Europe kindly? I know. Like last year when you bankrolled European football. I don't know that they're going to do that this year, honestly.
Let's see.
Cristiano Ronaldo, speaking of Saudi, took to Instagram to thank the Portugal fans and remind them that they and the team deserved more. Jules, I'm just asking you to troll you. Do you agree with Cristiano?
It's okay. I agree with everything Cristiano always says, but, you can blame Joao Felix. He hit the post. That's it.
Yeah, I got to say, when Joao Felix came on, I like Joao Felix less and less every time.
If you thought his career could not go worse, I mean...
I'm also okay, so you come on in this game, right? I guess he was playing in the Leao position theoretically, but he was playing a lot deeper. He's walking around the pitch. I don't expect you to be fast like Leao.
And he had the header that he had
a terrible header at the far post.
Tight angle, but still.
I mean, he looked like somebody who's putting no effort out. He looked like somebody who was sulking because I don't get to start.
Maybe.
Like honestly, enough.
Toni Kross has made waves here in Germany with an interview in which he says that he's going to continue living in Spain now that he's retired instead of coming back and live in Germany. That Germany isn't what it was 10 years ago. Some criticized him for his comment on immigration too.
So a couple of things to this. Obviously, this drew a lot of attention because Toni Kross speaks about subjects with nuance. And if you sit and you watch this whole podcast, which these 2 guys, I don't know, Pants and Schmantz, something like that. No, it's not. Yeah. But it's these 2 guys. It's for ZDF, the German state broadcaster. And he gets into complex issues with nuance. So, first of all, when he talks about Germany isn't what it was 10 years ago, dude, you don't live here in Germany, and you haven't lived here for 10 years.
Yeah.
So, maybe you're not necessarily the right guy to give us an analysis of what Germany was, or at least you have to take that into account when you talk about it. But he, at the same time, the man is German, and he, being abroad, he can look back at his own country sometimes in a more detached way.
True.
He talked about how welcoming everybody was to immigration, how it was 100% the correct thing to do, but then he says sometimes, if we don't have the ability to distinguish between people who are going to help our country and people who are going to hurt our country, that becomes a problem. And he talked about how divided Germany was. People have taken some of his quotes out of context, and I think they've made it seem like he's some sort of anti-immigrant guy, also because he says, he thinks of his daughter going out at night in the city center after 11.
Germany, but I would let her in Spain.
I would let her in Spain, not in Germany. Yeah, Spain is what you're familiar with, dude, because you've lived there for the last 10 years. I don't think Kross was trying to come off as some kind of anti-immigration thing. I think he was trying to talk like an adult. Not a raging liberal, not a raging conservative, but somebody who's evaluating all sides. And I just invite people to look at the whole context. If you can get a transcript, listen to it in German, or if you don't speak German, get a whole transcript. People tweet it out. Our colleague Archie has put it out there. I make up your own minds. I welcome when ex-footballers, because he's now retired.
That's true.
When people come out, public figures, and they talk about it in an intelligent, nuanced way, which is what he does. And I don't think he should be punished for it. Scott Parker is the new Burnley manager, beating out Frank Lampard Jr. Jules, quite a change from Vincent Kompany. I know you love talking about these guys, especially as managers.
Quite a change. Quite a change. Inheriting a good squad, to be fair. In the Championship, you would expect them to be favourite to go back straight up. and he's done that before. So
does this make him a better coach than Frank Lampard Jr.?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
I think so. Just about, maybe. Just about.
I'm Team Frank. Although
I love Frank, but I
give Parker credit for his cardigan, though.
Yeah, of course, but they're very expensive, as you know. We talked about it before. 18-year-old Michael Golding joined Leicester from Chelsea in a reported deal worth $4 million. Gab, another mirror deal?
You know, it's fine. Like, I'm not suggesting there's anything untoward here.
Yeah.
And we have to say these are separate deals. But and some people have reported the fee as $5 million. So Chelsea signed Kieran Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah.
$30 million, 6 years.
6 years.
It's about 5 years. It was $5 million a year in amortization. And Michael Golding goes the other way, $4 million to around $4 to $5 million. Hey, look, they net out
from the academy, so straight profit.
Exactly, straight profit. These deals totally net out, not costing Leicester a lot of money. I know the accountants are running the shop, and look, it's also true that you're just spreading the money down the road, and next year you'll have to find another Michael Golding to give away if you want to pay for your Dewsbury Hall, whatever. All these things, but this is the reality of where we are football-wise right now.
Yeah, Michael Golding's sweet. I saw the video when he joined Leicester. They asked him a lot of questions to answer, and they said, "What's your best day in football in your career?" And you know the answer is signing for Leicester City, right? This is the video on the Leicester City social media stuff, everything. And he goes, playing for England at youth level. And then he clearly thinks about it, he goes, and obviously signing for Leicester City. Yeah, of course it is.